In every community, there are individuals who seem tuned to a different frequency, people who perceive the invisible architecture beneath everyday life. Leadership, in its purest form, is an act of conscious expansion, a widening of the possible, a shimmering invitation to step into a future that does not yet exist, but could, amid the mountains and the quiet hum of northern Utah. One such mind has been quietly bending the arc of the possible. This is the story of vision, emerging from the ordinary and becoming extraordinary.
Leadership means being able to inspire the hearts and minds of the people that you're working with, a path that they can follow, that they can become better and learn and grow.
One of the things that I've always admired about Kerry is his vision. Kind of see ahead, a couple of steps ahead to see what we need to do to be successful.
As a CEO, you need to have a vision for the future. And even in our infrastructure and our buildings, we've got this master plan for the next 20 years to keep Goldenwest in northern Utah, with opportunities to grow our corporate offices and our rest of our infrastructure with that in mind.
A true vision is not a plan. It is a living thing. It grows, it adapts, it pushes outward, like roots breaking new soil. For Kerry, the future was never a distant abstraction. It was a presence whispering, a 20-year map unfurling westwards across northern Utah, calling forth buildings, infrastructure, and opportunity, like constellations forming in the night sky.
One of the most significant breakthroughs that Kerry Wahlen has had for the credit union was with the development of insurance services.
I used to have an office in the Goldenwest corporate building and had my own insurance business. Kerry and I often dreamed of bringing the insurance and the credit union products together as kind of a one-stop shop, if you would. I received a phone call one day, went to lunch with Kerry, and he said, it's time. It's time that we put our vision together. I'll teach you the banking side, you teach me the insurance side.
In observing a lot of larger companies, they put so much structure together that they get what I would call top-heavy with leadership, that they can't make decisions because they have too many people that they have to answer to. Our basic executive group has only 3 other people besides myself, so as we meet in a smaller group, we're able to get decisions done and get to the market quicker. So that has, I think, been an important guiding principle. We still are delegating and making sure that the performance is happening, but we don't want it to be too top-heavy at the top.
Organizations grow dense like forests, full of branches, nodes, hierarchies, but Kerry carved a different path, one of simplicity, a leadership structure stripped of excuses, capable of swift movement and coherent thought. In a world addicted to bureaucracy, he championed the rare art of decisive action. When 2 ideas merge, something alchemical happens. Banking and insurance, 2 parallel systems, converged like rivers, finding each other after miles apart. Kerry and his partners didn't just combine products. They created a unified ecosystem, a one-stop nexus where complexity collapses into clarity.
The merger that we had with USU Credit Union back in 2013 and 2014, navigating that merger, he did a beautiful job with all of the politics that were involved.
I came from the USU side, of course, and Kerry was the CEO at Goldenwest. And this was a period of uncertainty and anxiety among our employees. We had a lot of members who were concerned and needed questions answered, and he came up there and met with members one-on-one, being that kind of leader, like on the ground, sleeves rolled up kind of leader. That was really impressive.
I was most concerned about is they had a lot of employees in the same roles that we already had employees in, and good employees, and he made one promise: none of those employees would ever lose their job. We would take every single one of them, we would find a home for them, and they would be part of the Goldenwest team.
We've always had a statement that our members are everything. So when I became the CEO about 13 years ago, we flipped it a little bit, that not only our members are everything, but our employees are also everything.
A merger is an existential movement. 2 cultures, 2 histories, suddenly asked to share a single heartbeat. In that uncertainty, Kerry made one simple vow, one that rippled out like a stabilizing wave. No one loses their place. Every person would be carried forward, every story preserved. That is leadership as compassion, not theory.
About the time of the real estate crash, we had some construction and mortgage loans and potential problems. Kerry created a team to work through those, and they was proactive in meeting weekly to minimize the loss to the credit union.
Our examiners and our regulators were coming in and saying if we have delinquent loans and members that weren't paying, that we needed to liquidate those, and they were pushing really hard. We took a different perspective on it. We actually met with each of our members that were in those situations, and we worked through the situations with them and tried to help them out. And through that, we lost very little money through the whole process. Instead of liquidating those, we were better off to just hold those if we had to, and we could rent those back out. It was a good way to save money for the credit union members for the future.
The real estate crash was not just an economic event. It was a collective test of character. Where others chose the cold logic of liquidation, Kerry chose the human path. Sit down with every member, listen, understand, and collaborate. Disaster became dialogue. Crisis became community.
He serves on the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation Board in Utah, and he has done quite a bit to help raise money and awareness for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We have helped for more than 7 years now put on an annual golf tournament to benefit the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation that has raised close to $1 million.
He pulled Weber State, Coach Randy Ray into that, and his wife Laura. And through the vision of where we wanted to go with that, Kerry was able to get Damian Lillard involved somewhat. We've had the governor involved in it, and it has directly affected a lot of businesses through Utah that come together in collaboration for a very good cause. But I also think there's more business deals done at that golf tournament than maybe any in the state.
If you want to really be involved in your local community, you need to support your local university, you need to support the Chamber of Commerce, and you need to support the country club. And we've done all of that. We've been, very involved, of course, with Utah State University in the merger, but also with Weber State University in our Weber County area. We've been very, very involved with the Ogden Country Club, sponsored a lot of their events, and it's just benefited us in ways that we wouldn't have ever known in growing our commercial lending portfolio and growing our businesses. And then we've been involved with the Ogden Chamber of Commerce, and the Ogden Weber Chamber has really blessed us as well.
Universities, chambers, country clubs, some see institutions. Kerry saw ecosystems, networks of human potential. Supporting them wasn't a strategy. It was a participation in the great communal dance that keeps a region alive. This is what happens when leaders act, not from fear, but from grounded presence. Service, when authentic, radiates outward. The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation partnership became more than philanthropy. It became a gravitational center, pulling in athletes, businesses, and families into a shared orbit of compassion. Nearly $1 million raised, and countless lives touched, all emerging from the simple belief that a community is a verb.
One thing that I remember happened was when our previous CEO got sick. When Shelley got sick and she ended up passing away. And I remember there being an undercurrent of what's going to happen, if Kerry takes over and what's that going to look like. And he was able to instill in the staff that we still have strong direction.
Well, as Shelley Clark was our president before I was the president, she always wanted to remind me is we're member owned, we're here for the members. And that is one of our most important missions, is to be here for our members. So we hope for the next 20, 30, 40 years in the future, we continue to have that viewpoint. We are member owned, and our members, even though we are getting larger and as we continue to grow, we can still give personal service to our members. And I think that's a very important function.
Shelley's wisdom echoes through the years. We are here for the members. Growth never outran that truth. Scaling never diluted that spirit. Even as the credit union expanded, the core remained crystalline. People first. always. Leadership is not a destination. It is a continuum, a living lineage of choices made with integrity. As Weber and Davis County grow, the legacy of wisdom, compassion, and service continues to ripple outward, touching lives in ways that may never be counted, but will always be felt.